Hey everybody, this is Tony with MyRepairApp. So today we're going to have a quick recording, a quick training on inventory. So what we've decided to do is I'm going to go ahead and just introduce Jason. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what we're going to talk about, and Jason's going to show you in depth what it is, what inventory is, and how to use it in MyRepairApp. So the idea with today's call, the training, is to show you how and why to use the system, why we create tickets the way we created them, and how to attach the items so you can properly track inventory levels, your margin levels, pretty much everything. So that way, you know, from your reporting standpoint, you know how your business is operating. And so without further ado, I'm just going to have Jason take it away. He's going to share his screen and he's going to show you guys how to use inventory properly in MyRepairApp.
All right, can you see my screen? I don't think this. Hello? Oh. All right. This is not the right screen. I gotta share the correct screen. Desktop 2. Cool. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes,
Also,
we can.
sorry, I muted myself.
Cool. I don't think you should be muted, Tony, because I'm gonna have to
No, I
have
probably,
say things.
yes,
Yeah.
I probably should have. Yeah,
Yeah. It's all good.
there
All
we
right.
go.
So when it comes to your system and inventory, your inputs, which is essentially going to be what your employees and or you are putting into the system, is extremely important. And understanding how that works is very important. So I'm going to click on check-ins. So sale is traditionally going to be meant for things that need to be just processed really quickly. So if somebody comes in, they say, "Hey, I have a, phone charger," or "Hey, I just want to buy this phone charger." Cool. Set up really quick, scan it out, depending on what the thing is. If you want to be like screen film, cool. And then you can save or close depending on what you want to do, type in the customer's name. Um, when you're doing it like this is going to count as a sale. We did put in the back end to be a little bit more discerning for like some of the sales for your metrics. But when you're going to ring it out like this, it's going to be a quick sale and it's going to let the system know that this is a sale and then to orient it into sale. So if you go into your metrics as an example, Tony, can you see the thing?
Yes.
Cool. All right, we're going to filter out. This is what you guys are going to get tomorrow. And the zoom bar literally blocked my button. All right. I'm just going to filter it for today. So essentially, if I closed out that, it would have gone into sales and you would have saw it bump up your sales revenue and it would have bumped into your accessory attachment rate and like your sales per employee. So when you get a little bit more technical and you're dealing with repairs and services,
Hey
if you're going to
Jason,
do like
your screen's frozen.
my screen is frozen.
Yeah, we're stuck on the
Yeah,
metric
currently just showing the
filter.
filter.
Mine's working. Oh, it paused the share. Weird. All right, can you see it now?
Yep.
Cool. Did you see the metrics page?
Just the filter. Yeah, when you went to the metrics page, you show the filter.
Oh. Let's see. For those that are on the pro version, we'll open up the metrics page. Filter, if I want to filter for today, sales, you see the amount of sales, the gross profit. So as an example, since I just did that accessory, if I wanted to do like that, right? So it'd be $49.99. This is going to have a cost. It's going to be whatever you brought it into like a purchase order. That's going to go into your profit margin. And profit margin is going to be something that's extremely important, especially if you're like an absentee owner or you're just not in your store very often. When I operated my stores, I was only in my store once or twice a year, maybe. And, the reason why is because I pay attention to the numbers, right? So we're going to get out of that. a little bit more technical, especially like recently, is I've seen a lot on some of the groups where people are trying to understand how you want to add items. So a lot of this really depends on your state. Your state is going to have certain rules of how you can bring items up because it has to deal with taxes. So when you see people giving you recommendations on how to set up your ticket, refer to your state code because everyone's state is different. But as an example, if I want to do like an iPhone 11 repair, right? So if I do that and then I go and I want to attach a part, iPhone 11, and I want it to be like an X07 screen, right? So this 2011, because I attached it, and I'm just gonna make this 149.99, cool. So since I attached this cost is gonna immediately come out of this, and it's gonna help track your gross profit. And so if I sat there and I wanted to, well, probably not cash, we'll just do card, make my life easier. Then I will close it. I'm gonna skip. This is also gonna be something you guys are gonna get tomorrow. Whenever you see here, the ticket assignee, this is who's gonna track, like if the ticket comes back or that repair comes back, this is gonna be the person who's responsible and is going to get that warranty and or return. So if I'm like, all right, I want Jason to have that, or we'll just put both of them to me. And then if you have any kind of commissions, things like that, this is also going to designate that to that person. So if I exit that and I'm like, let's say we have an iPhone 12 screen repair. Then we go into this, skip. You see both of them added. And then if but that's at 0. I don't know, this might. Okay, cool.
Yeah, don't do what he does and charge $0 for a screen repair.
I mean, you could.
Probably shouldn't.
Yeah, probably shouldn't, but free world. All right. So we're gonna open the metrics. I'm gonna filter to today. And then we're gonna go into, oh, those are repairs. Oh, I should have like zeroed out my repairs. But what would essentially happen is that those repairs, because they were phone repairs, would have added into your phone repair total. And then the average repair time is obviously 0 because it never went into the in repair column. And then the repair revenue is obviously tracking the repairs. It was only a phone repair. Let's see, we're gonna go to this. So this is gonna show the repairs I did for today. The accessory attachment, I had 66.67 accessory attachment rate. That's actually really, really good. Most stores you're going to see that are like really high performing are going to be in about that 35 range is like pretty good. If you're like a wireless store, they actually keep theirs in the 60s. Like 60 is like not great. 80% is where they try to be at most of the time. So, and especially with accessories, it's like you guys should be doing thousands of dollars a month. If you're not, it's something you guys need to really hit on because it's people are coming in with broken screens. Why are they not getting screen protectors? And then why are you charging $15 for something they need now? But anyway, it's a whole different thing. So you'll be able to see, the amount of tickets. If I did, that would be 3. Obviously 0 repair time. This will be able to track the amount of time that it stays in the in repair column. So don't sit there and have your employees like leave something in repair for like a day and then just never move it. That's gonna like throw this off really bad. So if you're trying to track like how well they're doing, like that's a key point. And then the revenue per sale. Oh, well, I did repair. So revenue per repair. This is going to show how much revenue is coming in per repair that this person did, right? So if this person is, it's not really going to matter too much for repair, but for a sale as an example, that's going to show, if they're upselling, if they are, trying to charge more revenue for that specific like sale or service, it's going to show the people who are really overperforming. So really important. We're going to be extending this module in probably the next month is something we're going to have a real big focus on. So I know people wanted to add things like devices, so we'll add devices, and then kind of going from there. But we are taking suggestions. So if you guys have something that you might want to try and track a little bit better, then definitely let us know. But yeah, I might have gone a little bit longer than I wanted to. But go on, Tony. Back to you.
Well, I was gonna have you show inventory.
Do we have time?
That is the goal.
All right. So for a
Um,
brief overview of
brief
inventory,
overview though. Yeah, we'll do the
yeah,
nitty
super
gritty.
brief.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to go into that later. So the way that we do our inventory is it's going to be designated into different areas. So if you click on parts, you will only see your parts, right? And these are super important because this shows the category. So if I change this to, let's say I change this to a repair, it's going to take it out of here and put it into the repair or services. Say that's going to put it into here, but I don't want it into there if I wanted to track that. So if I go like part phone, that's going to tell me that this is a part for a phone. So if the system needs to track how many parts are in phone or how many parts are there, that's super important, which if you go back into your metrics, has a much larger breakdown. So like this account currently has $780.27 of items in stock. If you, this is just for the inventory tab, but if you click it, you'll actually see a breakdown of everything you have for that. And then if you want like a bigger breakdown, you have these, you click this, it'll show you what's in stock, what's out of stock, RMAs, pool damaged, things like that.
What's pooled status? Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so pooled status, that's going to be a part that's been attached to a ticket because when you think about it, when a customer comes in, drops off their device, and then you essentially have to take that part and pull it from the shelf. So it's no longer in stock. It's being used on a customer device, but you haven't wrung it out yet. That's something that's been pulled. It's been pulled from the shelf, but it hasn't been wrung out yet. So it hasn't been into like an out of stock or sold. And then damaged is if like they damaged something. RMAs, that's if things were like RMA'd. And we'll be extending this. Aging inventory, also super important. This will show you things that you've held on for a really long time. And then if you press show all, it'll give you like a list. And it will be a lot easier to kind of like clearance out parts that way as well. If your strategy is like a real common one is I don't want anything older than 90 days because I want to keep that cash, then you just filter for 90 days, look at that list, and you either price down repairs or you sit there and you try to um, sell it through eBay, something like that, or try and get it out. Because if you held on it for 90 days, most likely you're probably gonna hold on to it for like 6 months. 6 months can turn into a year, and all of a sudden you're just holding on to a bunch of dead stock that's not going to do anything, where that could have been cash that hasn't
Yeah.
depreciated.
On that note, when it comes to aging inventory, one thing that I've learned over the years is if you're if you have cash flow constraints and you're really trying to maximize every opportunity when people come into the door, because we've all experienced it, someone comes in and you don't have the part in stock, and maybe you didn't have it in stock because you don't have enough cash. The aging inventory is a wonderful way of making sure that you're not sitting on a bunch of money that's just there that could be put to better use. So if you are running into cash flow constraints, I would look at 30 or 60 days. Anything that's been sitting for longer than that, return it and keep an eye out on what people are asking about, right? And so again, if something is sitting there for too long, return it and you'll find a better flow for what you should be keeping in stock. And that right there can easily save you hundreds of dollars and each month just in like not having to deal with stuff that's devaluing, but then also it can help you make sure that you're actually able to offer more same day repair, which is why these metrics are so darn important to understand your business. And this also allows you then to work on your business than just being a tech in your own business. Because although you may be a tech in your business, you are not the tech, or rather, as an owner, you should not be the tech. You should be working on your business, which is what this is all about.
Yeah, I fully agree. And I think that's a real good direction. I think it might be a good time to go into questions because we kind of went in inventory straight into like metrics. But
You
That's
did,
kind of
not
how
me.
it all ties together. So like
Yeah.
as an example, when it said like part phone, that's how I know what my phone parts are. If it's part tablet, that's how I know it's a tablet part. And then you just do that for essentially everything in the
Oh,
system,
actually,
and that's how it knows. Yeah.
one thing I think we should touch on, and again, guys, what we'll do in the following training video, we will do a deeper dive into inventory, like every single thing. But I think one main thing we should definitely discuss now is because we had a lot of people switch from other systems where inventory, parts, devices, and labor SKUs have kind of all been like conflated as one, which is not true. So can you just do a quick, just like a reminder overview of what exactly is the difference between like a repair SKU, a part SKU, and then just like devices? Because some people have come from systems where that's not really defined very well.
Yeah. So the easiest way to think about it is just in like a real world example. Parts and accessories, devices, even tools, these are all physical inventory. Those are things you're physically like having in your store. So if you guys ever ask me a question, I'm going to always ask, is this physical inventory, right? Labor, which is like services and repairs, these are obviously not physical inventory. They are not things that are tangible in your store. So these are just two main differences. That's not even a POS thing, that's just a business thing, right? So um the big differences between like, you know, okay, what was the question again, Sonny? I was
So
gonna start ranting and then I stopped myself.
yeah, don't rant. No, so the difference is between like a repair phone and part phone, right? Because some people are like, oh, well, I'll just why do I need both? I'll just do one or the other. Well, number one, the number one answer is state law. Many states require you to charge tax differently on different things. But also, just from a business perspective, you want to be able to identify your margins. You want to identify what type of repairs you're doing. And then in that labor, that repair, right? So repair phone, iPhone 12 screen, you are attaching a part to that repair. That is the proper way of doing things if you want to scale your business and not just open more stores, but rather if you want to not be the main tech in your store and you want to be able to like on the back end check behind your employees and see what they're doing. You want to be able to see, okay, repair tablet or repair computer, repair phone. So what was the labor SKU, right? So that would identify what was done to that repair, to that device. And then attached to it is going to be that part. So now you know your cost on that repair. So the repair SKU, right, repair dash phone, repair dash tablet will have your overall price, what you're charging the customer. When you attach the part, that will identify the cost. So I really wanted to address that because we've been getting that question a lot from people. And I think a lot of it's because, again, you come from a point of sale that doesn't really differentiate that well enough. And I think a lot of other systems kind of undervalue that because that's what's really going to allow you to identify your margin. You know exactly how much you're making. It's going to make your life easier and easier for you to track how your employees are performing. That was kind of the gist of what I was trying to get to as well.
Yeah. And then we'll be working on the knowledge base and, trying to improve a lot of the articles in there for this kind of stuff. It's just been really difficult with all the feature requests that we've been working on, which is like amazing because we're getting out with great stuff. But on the downside is the people who make those knowledge base articles are also a lot of the people who actually like develop the stuff. So,
Speaking about
um,
yourself in the third person.
I didn't want to say that, but I mean, yeah, that's me. Like you guys have like I do all the UX and design. So like all the new features kind of have to like be designed by me. And then like all the really smart people have to like do all the like cool back end stuff. But yeah, so let's go into Q&A real quick. For people who have like any direct questions or things like that.
Yeah. And if you do, even whether you have a question now, please type it in chat. Or if you have a question after when you're watching this video, you can always email us at support@myrepairapp.com. You can comment on the Facebook user group, or you can message us on Discord. So we have different ways of asking questions. And to specify in the following training, we'll go more nitty gritty into inventory in terms of how to use purchase orders properly, how to do the RMAs, et cetera, et cetera. I think purchase orders are pretty darn easy to explain. You just click the buttons and you know who you're ordering from, but we still want to go deeper into it just so that way you have that as a knowledge base, a video as a reference for your employees. So if you got any questions, go ahead and type them in. Otherwise, we'll call it there. Cool. And also, Stuart, if you can just unmute everyone. So if anyone wants to say anything, they can go ahead and.
Beasley said, so proper way is to have repair, then attach part instead of having the total cost in the part section. Yeah, so I'm still sharing my screen, right?
Yeah, correct.
All right. So like a perfect example that will make more
Yeah,
sense.
Dillinger, that makes perfect sense. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense. But let me go into a manual because I'm typing it in. All right, so if I go like screen repair, also guys, like use this. If you're scanning, use that. If you're doing manual, do that. It's gonna find things better, but if you do that, it's way better for like scanners. But so you go screen repair, let's say I made this, I don't know, 150 bucks, right? And when I change it from here, it also updates the price in your catalog. So that's also really nice. But so if I sit here and I attach a part, right? So I'm going iPhone 11. No, we'll just do Nexus 7. So this has a cost of 2011. So when I ring this out, my system is going to say, all right, so this is 150 bucks minus 2011. That's the amount of profit you made. But if I sit here and I
Hello?
go
Okay.
iPhone 11 X07, if I add it, it's going to add that part onto it and it's going to make the cost more like difficult and it's going to add that price on. So the reason why these are two different options is because some states, I don't remember what the state is, makes you do these separately.
What a terrible state.
I mean, it's some of them, right? But
By the
that's
way,
essentially it.
we only have a few minutes left, guys. Stop paying for Zoom. So let's but that's really what it is. You want to have your labor and then your part, you want to attach it. So you're in your labor, right? So in the repair SKU, that top one you see there, that is what you're charging the customer. That is your total charge. Then you attach the part. The part, you only simply want to have your cost associated with it. So that way it'll deduct your cost. So then that way you have you identify your profit.
Correct. And if you're mainly walk-in repair and your profit margin is like 65%, I mean, and you're only doing walk-in repair, that's not great. It means you need to up it. Like stores that are doing like very good like walk-in repair and like they're going really high margin, 65 is not bad, but like you really want to be in like the 70s and like your profit margin is great. But like what I see a lot of people doing is they really kill themselves on their profit margin and they're like, oh, I'm going to get volume. It's just proven not to work very well, right? Because essentially you're just spinning the wheel, you're creating more work for yourself, but you're making less. But obviously don't like jack up your parts. It's still a market, but anyway, that's a whole different thing. But yeah, I hope that answered your question.